All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Kitsunekon 2023. I am here with one of our guests, Ralph Horsley. We are here to talk about pretty much just your work in general, kind of the career, what kind of like led you to do a lot of the work you're doing. So for anyone that's curious to what's been going on, I mean, if you're a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, Silent Dragons.
I've been working for over 30 years in the game industry. And I've worked for I think all the major players in the print game industry.
Yeah, and which is impressive in itself. Like, what led you to like get to this point of like where you've been able to do this like amazing artwork with so many people?
Well, it's very glad that you think it is amazing artwork. I mean, I feel very fortunate. I'm a gamer basically. That's where I started off as a teenager. Came across Dungeons and Dragons, that completely changed all the drawing and sketching I was doing. So it was all focused around the games I was playing and fantasy and whatever else. And certainly to then been able to pursue a career in art and end up to where I was. I remember the first time I had some work in the Player's Handbook or the Dungeon Master's Guide. That was a definite career high. Yeah. So from having been that 30-year-old lad, coming across basic D&D for the first time, being blown away by the concept of this game, to then be working on it and still working on it now.
Yeah. So what was kind of like that like initial career path when you were kind of like getting your artwork out there? Was there like
it was bumbling, I suppose you can say at best. Really. I mean, I didn't see it as a career. So actually, I went to university and studied a degree in English literature and librarianship.
Right.
But at the time, I'd been doing amateur stuff. I'd been contributing for fanzines, which was quite a big thing at the time, print fanzines. I'd even done my own fanzine. So I'd been involved in that thing. And whilst I was at college, graduating in English and librarianship, I decided actually I'd like to give it a go at being an artist. What I didn't really appreciate was how ill-equipped I really was to be a commercial artist. So I spent the best part of my 20s really developing my craft, getting the contacts, building up to the point where I was of a decent professional talent and could get the work. And it's one of those careers where you keep wanting to improve and better yourself, and hopefully with that the rewards come.
Yeah. And I know I had kind of heard you talking before, like you would play Dungeons and Dragons kind of like early on to then like see yourself transition to like working on Player's Handbook since like 3.5, 4th edition, 5th edition.
Yes.
Everything like that. Just like Magic the Gathering as well, which I mean both things have like such huge fan bases. So like when you're coming to conventions and like seeing that kind of like reaction, like what's that been like for you to like kind of see that progress into?
Well, it's always really nice to come to conventions and meet people because I work in isolation. It's in a sense it's quite a. Well, I don't find it lonely because I think I'm quite naturally fairly introvert, so it sort of suits me really to sit at home, listen to music whilst I'm painting, and being left alone by the rest of the world to do that. But it's very nice to come here and actually realise this is why you're doing this. Is the end. The people here that play the games are why you're doing these pictures. They're the people that really are appreciating it and get it. Yeah. And it's great to come and get that feedback and people go, oh, wow, I play with that card. That's been great in my deck. Or I love that. I love that cover. That was one of my favourite adventures or something. Of course, that's lovely to hear that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Have you ever gotten like to sign like old artwork of yours? Like, has anyone ever like brought you like older stuff that you've like done?
Well, bizarrely, the last convention I did in the UK, which is UK Games Expo, which is the biggest UK games convention, someone came up and they'd had a copy of this fanzine I'd done when I was 17, and I think it must be like the only copy in existence. I certainly haven't had a copy for decades. So, and I'm 57 actually next week. So,
well, happy early birthday.
Well, thank you. So, this old document appeared.
Right, and you're like, Jesus.
It just showed me how much I've improved.
Right, you're like, you like this? All right, like kudos to you, I guess. Like
yes, it definitely was my big head, big eye phase. I think so. My anatomy wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah. And I think this was the first year you've done like Kitsunekon.
It is, yeah. I've been very happy to be invited here.
Yeah, it's like how's been this kind of experience so far at Kitsunekon?
Well, the travelling in is long, but it was a very smooth journey. Everyone seems to be. I've been impressed. I was walking around yesterday because I gave myself a day to get over the jet lag a little bit. And I was walking around Green Bay and everyone was remarkably friendly and chatting, which was quite surprising actually.
Welcome to the Midwest.
And the con is just a nice size where the logistics are all really easy and everyone's sort of, it's big but not too big. Right. So that's really nice. And as I say, it's been great so far. I've been really enjoying being here.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about like your personal project that you're doing.
Well, I try and mix in personal projects
Right, well,
and commercial work. You know, there's no one big thing. It's like an ongoing thing of,
Right,
I'd really like to do this piece of work. Can I fit it around other stuff?
Yeah, but you want like really quick, kind of just talking about like the personal work that you're doing with Wild and like
The
what's
Wildborn is a series I've worked on for a number of years, and really, because a lot of my commercial work is big fight scenes, especially for the role-playing game stuff. It'll be a bunch of adventurers fighting a monster, and I love that stuff. But the Wildborn is a bit of an antidote to that. So it's landscapes, but every landscape's got a dragon in there somewhere. Okay. And sometimes they're quite obvious. They'll be sat on top of a peak. Other times they'll be hidden by the mist. And it's a fun way of sort of. I get a lot of inspiration from the world around me, and it's an interesting way for me to interact with that and to paint different types of subject matter. And initially, it was a way of actually exploring painting in oils, because I'd always worked in acrylics. So the initial sort of exploration that was a way of exploring painting a different medium without the pressure of it being a commercial assignment.
Right.
But I really love doing those landscapes and in that medium, and I've had good feedback to them, so it's something that's grown over the years. Yeah.
That's awesome. And then I know you just kind of collected all of your work over like 3 decades of experience into a new book.
Yes, I did a Kickstarter we must have finished about 18 months ago or something like that. So that was 30 years.
Yeah,
of work, 30 plus years
of
work
condensed
down. It's a very dense book. It's don't know how 130, 40 pages.
Which is good. I mean, you're gonna get the so to speak bang for your buck.
But the challenge with doing an art book is how do you do it? Do you do it chronologically? Do you do it by subject matter? Well, all my stuff's fantasy, So actually, what I thought would be fun, because it was my initial inspiration and what led me down the script path, was I've done it like a role-playing game book. Okay. So every chapter's got a different theme to it. So whether it's like characters or adventuring or the world or bestiaries, all that sort of fun stuff. And it's a way to thematically link it. So you might get on the same page a piece that's 30 years old, and one that was done 3 years ago.
Right.
But they'll link together thematically, and I think it's quite interesting to see different. It's a different way to explore my career, really. And it's fun. I can imagine it would be kind of fun, like as you're doing the process, like to kind of see like that evolution of your work. And then, of course, with my librarianship background, there's a nice index at the back, so you can go and check it. It's a bit more biographical detail about each piece.
As long as a degree can at some point come in handy, like you've gotten the money out of it. Like I can justify it. Like I'm using my degree in some way, shape, or form.
It's quite.
And then like I said, I want to make sure we talk about like where people can like find your work and like where they could buy the book and various.
Sure. Well, I have got a web shop on Etsy, but I have got a website which really directs you to all the social media sites. Yeah. But if you Google Ralph Horsley, then you'll find lots of stuff there. Or my website is Ralph Horsley, all one word, .co.uk. So that will lead you to other places. So I'm quite easy to find. I've got a fairly unusual name.
It's very useful. Very useful to have unique stuff. So check out all of the work, please. I mean, whether you're a fan of Dungeons and Dragons or Magic the Gathering or whatever it might be, or even a fan of artwork. Personally, I love collecting unique artwork, and so like the work you've done it's outstanding.
Oh, well, that's very kind of say so. I mean, and also I feel fortunate because I work in traditional media and always have done. There was certainly pressure during my career where I felt, should I transition over to digital? Because everything ends up as a digital file.
Exactly.
When I send an artwork off to a client, I'm not sending them physical paintings anymore.
You get exactly.
So everything ends up in Photoshop at some point.
Right.
But I really appreciate the fact that I have got original paintings and drawings of what I create, really.
It's the blast from the past in like the really good way of like old artwork and like.
It's nice to have those artifacts out there, and they have their life of their own. It's funny how they circle around and come back sometimes.
You're like at a scene, you're like, all right, sweet. Like, so please make sure check out all the work, and then any parting message you'd want to give to anyone to like why to come to Kitsunekon.
I think going to any con, and this one especially, I think it's just a great thing to do. It's very social, and there's a whole host of different things to do and different different ways to explore the hobby, really. Yeah. Or the hobbies. There's this.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Covers loads of different hobbies here.
Yeah. So come to Kitsunekon. Please check out this man's work. Seriously, it's amazing. Support him in any way you possibly can. And thank you guys. And come to Kitsunekon of 2024.
Well, thank you very much.